Hi, welcome to the Lewis and Clark, the namesake of our museum. We're actually going to start over here, where you can see two deer that were actually found stuck in battle. They then got taxidermied in a very similar way, and even a taxidermied squirrel named Gary. Over here you can actually see different coats, very similar to the types that Lewis and Clark would have worn on their journey. Same era, same materials, just not Lewis and Clark's individual coats. And you can actually see some of the things that the fur trade brought about, like hats and scarves, which was a huge selling point up coming to the West. Then, if you look over here, you can see different things like chaps and silverwork and different stories that you can read about. Then over here is the Lewis and Clark Bridge. Now it's actually since been torn down, but we have the original sign that was hanging up on that bridge. Then two mammoth teeth, real mammoth teeth that were found in this area. Some bighorn sheep skulls and other fossils. And some small representations of the different types of boats used on the Missouri River. All of these things were things that were discovered, found, or thought about during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Then you have some Native American traditional tools like arrowheads, spearheads, hammerheads, that sort of thing. Then if you come over here, you can see some traditional Native American wear, and some replicas of like painted hide there, and then some actual tools used by Native Americans. Then this exhibit here is dedicated to Sakakawea. Now Sakakawea was the Native American that Lewis and Clark got to work with them as their guide coming through the Dakota area. So you can see a large picture of her, multiple smaller pictures, some herbs that she would have used for blessing and medicinal purposes. Then if you come over here, this is a small diorama of Fort Mandan, which is the fort that they spent their winter in while up here in North Dakota. Then we get into the expedition itself. So this is the start of their expedition. This talks about the letters that they received and who they were individually. Then if you come over to this one, it talks a bit more about the actual letter that Thomas Jefferson sent to Congress in order to get Lewis and Clark involved, so you can actually read through that letter here. You can see a map of where they went, some individual articles on Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, as well as Thomas Jefferson. Then the final stage, which talks about what exactly they found, the different journeys that they went on, and even their dog, Seaman. Then we come to the final exhibit in here, which is the gray wolf. So this is actually a gray wolf hide. In 1915, he was shot by Louis, I'm not going to attempt his last name, but he collected $100 for the fine. So actually during the early 1900s and late 1800s, the Dakotas put out hefty bounties for these different gray wolves, and it ended up running them into almost extinction. Now, there's one last thing in the very center of our room here, where you can see buffalo skulls, buffalo bones, and other such things. These were actually because of the buffalo extermination in the Dakotas. Now, what does that mean? Well, it actually was, as you can see in this photo here, when you come to our museum, piles and piles of buffalo bones. So when pioneers came to the Dakotas, they absolutely massacred the buffalo population. And that's about all that's in our Lewis and Clark room that we can show on film. If you want to see more, feel free to come out here because it's always changing.